All right, let's dive into the story of an invention that completely rewrote the rules of our world, the atomic bomb. We're going to trace its path from a secret weapon designed in the middle of a war to a threat that honestly still hangs over all of us today.
You know, that sounds like a line straight out of a movie, right? But here's the thing. For more than 75 years, it's been our reality. And it all started for real in the final desperate days of World War II.
So our story kicks off when the world is already on fire. Scientists were given a mission: build a weapon so powerful, so absolute that it could end all the fighting. Well, they succeeded. And in doing so, they unleashed a power that could literally end worlds.
Just look at how fast this all happened. In 1941, the U.S. gets pulled into the war. The very next year, a top-secret program to build a superweapon is already up and running. Only 3 years after that, they test the first bomb. And just 1 month later, it's used to end the entire war. The speed is just staggering. It was a complete game-changer for warfare and for who held power on the world stage.
See, the bomb wasn't just about ending the war. It was also a massive political statement. With those two blinding flashes of light, the United States basically told the entire planet that there was a new world order, and they were sitting at the very top. And that right there set the stage for decades of tension.
Now you'd think this awesome new power might bring peace, right? Nope, it did the exact opposite. It kicked off a brand new kind of conflict, a terrifying arms race, where if you fell behind, you could be completely wiped out.
The fact that the U.S. had this incredible weapon sent shockwaves everywhere. For other world leaders, especially in the Soviet Union, the reaction was simple and it was urgent. I want that toy too. But it wasn't really about a toy. It was about pure survival in this scary new world.
And this arms race wasn't just about getting an atom bomb. Oh no, it was about making something way, way worse. And the result was the hydrogen bomb. We're not talking a little more powerful. We're talking 1,000 times more powerful. That kind of leap in destructive force is it's almost impossible to wrap your head around.
Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. The very first test didn't just knock down some buildings, it literally erased an entire island from the face of the Earth. This was the moment everyone realized the stakes had changed. An atom bomb could take out a city, sure, but the H-bomb, that put the entire planet on notice.
And this is where you can see the crazy cycle that defined the Cold War. It was a terrifying back and forth. The U.S. gets the A-bomb. A few years later, the Soviets have it. Then the U.S. builds the H-bomb, and, you guessed it, the Soviets follow right behind. Every single leap in technology was just another step toward a potential global disaster.
So, what happens when this cycle of one-upmanship goes to its most insane and yet kinda logical conclusion? What if you could build a weapon that just breaks the entire concept of war itself?
I mean, that's the central paradox, isn't it? A weapon that guarantees you'll be destroyed too means you can never, ever win. It's basically a suicide vest for the whole planet. So why would anyone in their right mind even think about building it?
Well, the idea had a name, Project Sundial, and it came from the mind of Edward Teller, the same guy known as the father of the hydrogen bomb. His concept was for the ultimate doomsday machine, a weapon so powerful that using it would automatically destroy you along with your enemy, the ultimate deterrent.
But this was a step too far. In an age where everyone was constantly trying to build bigger and badder weapons, this was the one line that nobody wanted to cross. The reaction from pretty much everyone, politicians, generals, scientists, it was unanimous. This is madness.
So thankfully, they hit the brakes. Project Sundial was shut down, the blueprints were all destroyed. It was this rare moment of collective sanity to make sure this particular form of madness could never actually be built. It was like humanity looked straight into the abyss and for once decided to take a step back.
But look, just because that one doomsday machine never got built, that doesn't mean the threat just went away. The legacy of that whole arms race is still very, very real for us today.
Over 12,000. That's how many active nuclear weapons there are in the world right now. So, we may have backed away from the one theoretical doomsday weapon, but we went ahead and built thousands and thousands of very real ones instead.
And this is the reality of where that whole journey has led us. We never built that single, ultimate weapon. Instead, we just built a massive arsenal that could do the exact same thing, destroy the entire world many, many times over.
And that really brings us to the most important thing to take away from all this. The technology is out there. It's not going anywhere. The real threat, the question that will shape our future,
It isn't about the bomb itself. It's about us. What are we humans going to do next?